But I will do that. But Chris, beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome everyone. So great to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Yes, welcome. We're so glad that you're here with us today. Before we dive in, um, I want to just say something out loud. This isn't about more information. It's not about more motivation. It's not about fixing. It's about space, a little inner peace, a sense of quiet calm. Life is loud, and I know for a lot of us, our minds are busy. And even when things are going fine, it can feel surprisingly hard to find that stillness inside.
Mm. And so often we think calm will come after we figure everything out, after we've made that big decision, or after we solve that problem. For me, it's like after I finish that email or that text, after I feel caught up. But there's another way.
Mhm. Yes, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. What actually helps? What supports our happiness when life feels noisy, demanding, or unsettling? And sometimes the answer isn't pushing harder or thinking more. In fact, I think it almost never is. Sometimes it's learning how to stay with ourselves in a different way.
It's so beautiful. And that's the space we're holding today. So welcome, welcome everyone. We're so, so glad that you're here. And so let's take a moment to take a couple of breaths together, breathing in through our noses and out through our mouths as if we're blowing out through a straw. And feel free to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And feel your feet on the floor. Let your shoulders soften. And let whatever you've been carrying earlier today just rest for this time. You can come back to it later. This time is for you, for here and now. In as few as 3 breaths, you've sent a powerful signal to your nervous system to rest, digest, and create. And I invite you to put something in the chat that you're grateful for today, something that lands for you in this time, in this place. Or perhaps a word that describes how you would like to feel more often, a feeling you aspire to feel into your life more. Let's drop what comes to you in the chat. Hmm. Chris has written abundance. Yes, love it.
Mm.
Freedom to pursue my dreams. Yes, absolutely. And grateful for my health and family. Yes. And I don't know about you, but that seemed to flow really easily. It's amazing what we when we give ourselves permission, what comes out.
Yes. Do you have a word for today for yourself, Victoria?
Well, I'm going to hop right on abundance right there. It's beautiful.
Mm.
Love it. All encompassing, embracing all in all aspects of my life. Absolutely. And you?
I'm gonna stick. I have a word, a focus word for the whole year that is really resonating with me, and it's stability.
Mm.
And for me, and I think abundance is part of that for me anyway. But I'm using that as a filter to look at many different aspects of my life, whether it's finances, career, family, health, all of it. And that's really helping me.
Beautiful. And Laura's also written, taking more chances and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Okay, great. So we're going to talk about that pushing word as we get into our material today. Thank you so
Hmm.
much. Thank you, Laura, for sharing that. And thank you
Yes,
for
thank you.
gratitudes.
Yes, thank you for sharing those. We love reading them. And, I learned recently that one of the best ways to experience gratitude from a well-being standpoint is to hear other people expressing gratitude. So you've helped everybody in the room by doing that. So thank you. It gives our nervous systems something steady and gentle to orient toward. So you're already creating a little more internal space by being here and doing that. I'm going to just share a quick piece of my own story so that you know why this topic matters to me so much. For a long time, when I felt overwhelmed or emotional, my instinct was to make it stop, fix it, power through, distract, maybe eat something, do something, think harder. What I didn't realize is that I wasn't really coping. I was chasing relief, and relief works temporarily. But the thing is that the feelings come back and sometimes stronger than the first time. So, what changed everything for me was learning that happiness, well being, inner peace, it's not something that I need to achieve or hunt for or even earn. It's something I can learn how to create and return to. And really, it comes down to practice. It's especially when things are uncomfortable.
Absolutely, absolutely beautiful, Karen. I also want to go back to appreciation for a moment because I love to say appreciation appreciates. As we appreciate, as we express gratitude, as we share gratitude, it absolutely appreciates. And abundance, incidentally, is on the same frequency as gratitude. Gratitude and abundance are way, way up there on the frequency scale. Absolutely. Part of my learning in our happy for no reason was actually understanding that abundance and gratitude are on the same frequency. And so for me, happiness, a little bit about me, happiness used to feel unattainable. It's what other people had, but I didn't. And I thought it would come to me once I finished that project, once I'd wrapped and finally went on holiday, once everything settled down. I fooled myself into believing that happiness will come to me once I feel better. And in this journey, I learned that it's an inside job. It comes with the clarity and steadiness of listening inward instead of reacting outwardly. And this work is about creating space for what's already inside us. And we simply need to give ourselves permission to allow it to re-emerge. Like, remember when we were all young, young children? It was a time when we naturally laughed and experienced joy, uncensored by what we should be doing.
Mm, that's so good, Victoria. Thank you. And let's move into the heart of today with those beautiful words. And what we're talking about today is when life feels full or emotionally charged, most of us instinctively reach for solutions, plans, fixes, strategies. But today we're going to ask a different question. And it's coming back to that idea of relief versus regulation. Am I reaching for relief or am I reaching for regulation? And so today's focus is healthy, happy coping and how it supports happiness, not by making feelings disappear, but allowing them to move through us. And we're going to keep it very practical and very human centered.
Yeah. And, relief, something that we're actually used to hearing, is about stopping the feeling. It's turning the volume down fast and escaping discomfort. And without judgment, it's scrolling, snacking, drinking, shutting down, numbing, or the opposite, which is overreacting, creating drama. And once again, there's no judgment here because I'm sure many of us learned these things before we learned anything else. Maya, any nods? Can anyone relate to that? 'Cause I'm nodding. That was absolutely me. And regulation, on the other hand, is about staying with yourself while the feeling moves through you. You're not fixing it, you're not judging it, you're not squashing it or overriding it, but you're creating enough safety and space in the body for the emotion to be processed.
Yes. For me, the word that stuck out just there, Victoria, was judging. How often I judge myself really unconsciously for having an emotion. Well, I shouldn't feel this way. Shouldn't be upset right now.
Right?
Instead of just allowing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so exactly what you're saying. Coping is not numbing. Coping is more like metabolizing. Emotions aren't just thoughts, they're physical experiences. And if they don't get acknowledged and felt, they don't disappear. They get stored or acted out later. Healthy coping gives emotions a clean exit ramp, so to speak.
I love that. A clean exit ramp. And it's also important to say this out loud because everyday coping supports stress, overwhelm, irritation, emotional noise. It's maintenance. It keeps pressure from building. And major life events like grief, loss, trauma, big transitions that we're going through require something different, more time, more space, more support, patience, trying a quick fix grief, trying to quick fix grief, sorry, or to try and it's a tongue twister, trying to quick fix a diagnosis isn't healthy coping. It's pressure. And both these processes matter. They just need different kinds of care.
Yes, and Victoria and I want to invite you into a short experience connected to something central in our happiness work. And it involves in what we learned in Happy for No Reason, which is the pillar of the soul. It is part of the home for happiness.
And this pillar isn't about religion or belief, it's about accessing steadiness, clarity, good spirit from the inside. A reminder that we are not fixing anything, but we're noticing what's already here.
Yes,
We're,
and we can, oh, sorry,
sorry,
Victoria.
go
We can
ahead.
begin by simply noticing our bodies. Notice the chair supporting you, your feet on the floor. Bring to mind a recent moment, not a crisis, but something where you felt off, irritated, overwhelmed, emotionally noisy. You don't need to analyze it, just notice it.
And then notice, where do you feel that in your body? Once again, just notice. You're not changing it. You're not fixing it. You're not wishing it goes away. You're noticing. And if it feels right, take one slow, deep breath there. Acknowledge
That's,
it.
yeah, that's regulation. Staying present without forcing an outcome.
And before we wrap up, here's an awareness question to carry with you this week. Oh, you know what? Let's ask. Were there any, could you feel it? Would anyone like to declare where you felt it? I'm going to share. I feel it in my gut. My hands, it instantly go to my gut, my stomach. Anyone
Me
else
too.
like to share? Shoulders
Laura
and
says shoulders and head. I had an easy one. If you don't mind me sharing for a second, Victoria, you already know this story. I fell for a scam this week. And luckily, nothing terrible happened. I wasn't out any money. I was out an hour of my time, but I remember when I realized it was a scam. It's in the pit of my stomach. It's like a little black hole opens up and everything just starts to fall in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also felt in my shoulders just the weight of what I
Mm,
carry.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, like we can notice our physicality, right? Like, I mean, when you go for a walk down the road and you notice like people are literally hunched over, feeling the weight. I used to feel like that in my last day job. I would be like, "Mm." Yeah, beautiful, beautiful awareness. Thank you for sharing.
I don't mind sharing. I've been actually paying attention to that a lot lately. And the other day, I was in a room and I heard someone slamming doors. And I wasn't afraid, but my body felt a fear. And I felt it from like my waist to my legs, I would say. And it made me realize that something in the past, there was a time in the past, because at that moment I wasn't afraid. But I realized that there was fear inside of me from another time
mm,
in my
Mm.
life where I did feel fear hearing doors slam. So I had
mm,
that realization, and now I feel like I need to go back to that part of myself because it's a long time ago and heal that because I am not afraid.
mm. But your body remembers. That's
My
so
body remembered,
powerful.
yes. But I was
Mm,
like, oh my God, I actually feel fear. And I thought, why? Because I'm not afraid. There was nothing happening at that moment. It was just the sound of someone else.
Oh, thank
mm,
you. Thank you for sharing that. It's a beautiful awareness because we are in our everyday lives triggered by events that have happened in the past, right? It's happening to us unconsciously more often than we're probably thinking about. So, congratulations on your awareness there and your awareness for saying, I'm not afraid. In this moment, I'm actually not afraid.
mhm,
So I've become very aware of how I feel because of the job that I have. And honestly, when I first started in 2022, maybe by 2023, I realized that it was important for me to ground every morning before starting work. Because when you work with people, they can feel how you feel. So it's important to be balanced before you make that first phone call.
Mm-hmm.
that's so
And
true.
so that is starting that practice is what's led me to now recognize things in my body because I'm very conscious of it every day. Sometimes I hate it because I feel like it kind of swings with the energy of the world, if you know what I
Mm,
mean. And I think that makes what I do harder. But sometimes it's great because I have these realizations that I don't think would otherwise happen if I wasn't doing that. I think when people are working that 9 to 5 and, digging into work and not really thinking, that doesn't give the space to really, like, you have to learn how to live in the moment to really recognize those things. And
yeah,
sometimes on what I call the hamster wheel, it's very hard to do that.
it's true. We have to get off the hamster wheel. And I love what you said about learning. How did you put it? Learn to be present. And
Yes.
it is learning. Yeah, in my case, we say we teach what we most need to learn, and that's certainly been the case for me. And so, it's something I learned, similar to what you're saying, Diana, is like when I'm going into a coaching session or any kind of event, where I'm very conscious of taking responsibility for what I bring to the room.
Yeah.
I learned a great little exercise from Brandon Burchard, and it's like you sit and you take some deep breaths, like we always talk about, and just say release, release, release. And sometimes it's like you don't even know what you were holding on to until you decide to put it down or let it go.
Yes. That's good. I like that. You're right. Thank
Hi, I'm
you.
Yeah.
Robin. I'm new to this group, so thank you for including me, letting me join today. I wanted to commend you on noticing a trigger because that's something my kids taught me, and they're older now. They're 18, 22, and 24. But when that animated movie first came out, that identified emotions, like, and they started teaching that in preschools, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, like, I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling frustrated because you broke my Lego. It's something that my generation didn't grow up with. Like, oh, now I'm feeling triggered because of something from the past. So
Mm.
I'm going to flip into neutral, which I do every day, all the time, because I have young adults in the house, and we'll leave it at that. But a friend taught me that expression years ago, just like a Porsche car or any manual car, you just switch into neutral. And
Mm.
and it's interesting, I'm always getting advice from, other parents. I've been in Old Greenwich since 1981, so I know a lot of people here, newcomers and old timers. And every day, like even today, a parent will say, "You need to yell at your kids. You need to say blah blah blah." And I just listen to them and I'm like, well, I don't know. I always just try to stay in neutral and de-escalate because in my experience, if one person gets emotional or raises their voice or whatever, it just escalates. So I commend you on noticing that you were triggered because that's a relatively new in the past, I don't know, 15 years. Um, Teaching to notice when you're triggered. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is Karen and I were kind of speaking off air, as I say, because I'm in broadcast. Um, Without starting my day with hot yoga, like I miss it so much. And a lot of people don't like hot yoga, like they complain about it, even in the class. They say, "Oh, I hate hot yoga, blah, blah." And I never say anything, but I feel like saying, well, then take a different class. But for me, it just is so feels good all over my body when you guys are talking about where you feel it in your body. And in yoga, the sacral chakra, your lower belly, is where you feel love and emotion and stress and everything. And we're brought up to believe it's in the heart, which you can also feel tight in the heart for sure with anxiety. But we're not taught that all that stuff settles in the lower belly. Um, so yeah, everything you guys have said, I also use. I take deep breaths, holding my lower belly in for 4 and out for 6. Flip into neutral. Your clouds behind you are like super, like a painting. I feel like I'm watching a painting when I look at you. It's funny. So anyway, that's all. I just wanted to say thank you for letting me join today, and I'm really grateful that it all worked out. Although now there's like all these ambulances coming, so I have to try to figure out how to get
Be
out of their
safe.
way. No, I'm fine. They're not coming for me, man. Um, so
Thank you, Robin.
right.
An
But I'll let
opportunity
you.
to breathe.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I would call it relaxing breathing, trying to go to the right lane so that ambulances and fire trucks don't hit you, because you always read about ambulances and fire trucks like going through red light, which they do go through red lights. But anyway, so thank you, and I will be quiet and listen to what else you have to share. That's all.
Thank you so much, Robin. So glad that you were here today.
Thank you
And
for
Laura,
sharing. And
Laura
do
put
you
in the chat
what?
that
Yeah, go ahead.
she related to what you said about your kids getting through. She says getting through to my now almost 19-year-old, getting through her middle school and high school years taught me lots of stops and starts and the importance of staying in neutral. I love that too, staying in neutral instead of instantly reacting or holding on to things until the build up. Yes, that how often do we just like put something off? Like I'll deal with that later or I'll ignore that. And then suddenly later on there's a straw that breaks the camel's back, right?
And
Hmm.
Karen, I can't tell you how many parents have said to me, like, you have to yell at your kids the way they do.
Mm.
And I don't judge anybody. Like if it's working out for you, man. And they have like really super successful kids that get into every college and have like, 20 things on their resume by the time they're a junior in high school. So, I mean, if it's working for them, great, but it sure wouldn't work for my kids if I raised my voice. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to, just like plants. Someone said that, we're basically complicated house plant. We need fertile soil, lots of water, and sunshine. And so it's the fertile soil is really creating that safe place. So it sounds like you've done a wonderful job of that. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think our prompt for this week would be to notice when I feel uncomfortable, is am I reaching for relief or regulation? And just let it be simple without any judgment. And it doesn't need to be impressive or productive.
And honestly, the first step is in the awareness. When I feel uncomfortable, am I reaching for relief or regulation? Because you get to understand yourself, study yourself like a scientist, mining your behavior for data that helps inform and then enables you to practice what is more sustainable. And if you can, do a little more of what helps you stay present, as Diana said. And we're not doing it perfectly, right? We're just doing what we can where we are with what we've got. There may be noise, schwas, whatever. The ambulances are going by, right? You're
Hmm.
tuning in to yourself in that moment, doing what you can, regulating as you can from where you are. And so let's close with a short loving kindness practice. And I invite you again to close your eyes if you can. Robin, not for you, you're driving. And please repeat out loud for yourself. We'll put Robin on mute, but just repeat what I'm saying. Say it to yourself. Repeat silently. May I be steady. May I be joyful. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And now think about someone you love, some people, some friends, family that you hold truly dear to you, and wish them, may you be steady. May you be joyful. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And now extend it towards all of humanity, to all beings near and far. May you be steady. May you be joyful. May you be healthy. May you live with ease.
Thank you, Victoria. The loving kindness practice is one of my favorites, and I love how it invites us to turn first toward ourselves. I can feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable, but in my experience, it's really the only way to serve from overflow instead of depletion. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. So thank you for being here with us today and practicing with us. Have an amazing week. Make it a happy one. And we'll be back here in 2 weeks if you'd like to come again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your sharing. Thank you for being here. Appreciation appreciates. Go forth. And as Karen said, make it a happy, amazing week.
Oh, I have a silly thing
Thank
to
you.
share real quick. I read somewhere recently, like 2 weeks ago, this sounds crazy, but it works. If you just say with a smile and hug yourself and say, I love you, 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 it makes all your little molecules happier.
Yes, I believe that. Let's try it. Report
Absolutely.
back. Report back.
Yeah, I do it now, and I mean, I obviously do it when no one's around listening. I don't do it at King's grocery store, but it really works. It just like the smile, like everything makes you feel like you have glowing little atoms all over the place. So you can try that this week too if you want to.
I
It
love
sounds
that.
weird, but it's a happy, happy. for me
It's
anyway.
not weird. It's actually science. We talk about it in the longer format, Happy for No Reason.
Mhm.
We talk about
Oh,
that. Our molecules are water and water responds. And yes, when we say nice things, we create beautiful things. When we say ugly things, guess what we create?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you,
This has
Karen and
been wonderful.
Victoria.